Tripa, one of the world's last coastal peat swamp forests. Situated in Aceh at the western end of Indonesia, Tripa lies in the Loisa ecosystem that is world-renowned for its unique biodiversity. The Loisa ecosystem, including Tripa, is so important that the 2005 peace agreement between the Indonesian government and Aceh province granted conservation status to the whole area. It was stipulated that all activities within the Loisa ecosystem must be endorsed by the governor of Aceh. An example of the biological importance of Tripa is that very high densities of orangutans are recorded here. The orangutans found in these peat swamp forests are unique for another reason. These great apes know how to use tools. This female orangutan, for instance, uses a branch to fish ants out of a tree hole. But this valuable ecosystem is under extreme threat. Half of the 62 square kilometers of Tripa's forests have been cleared for palm oil plantations. Of the remaining forest, every day, an area the size of 5 football fields disappears. The destruction of these coastal forests has catastrophic consequences for the daily lives of local people. They lose their means of existence. The swamp forest provides them with a source of drinking water, food and medicinal plants, and an abundance of fish. The destruction of Tripa also puts the local people at great risk. A natural defence against future tsunamis is being lost, and flooding is on the increase. The next tsunami will claim many lives in this region, lives that were fortunately spared in 2004. In fact, conscious of the problem, the post-tsunami master plan even requested the establishment of a green buffer zone in Aceh. The destruction of Tripa further contributes to global warming. Vast amounts of carbon stored in peat, often more than 3 meters deep, are being released each year. During the 1990s, the central government granted concessions within the swamp forests. It did so without consulting local residents and the Aceh province. Most of these palm oil concessions could not be immediately exercised due to the civil war. In 2005, peace returned to the region, and Aceh province was granted a special autonomous status. The plantation companies were free to resume operations. The increasing demand for palm oil now drives destruction of the forests. In spite of many governmental policies and laws to protect Tripa, for example, a ban on clearing areas with a peat depth of more than 3 meters, and a moratorium prohibiting deforestation by the governor of Aceh, palm oil companies continue to clear and drain at a great cost to the local population. Ever since they are clearing, there are no more fish. Today, there are no more fish, but we need fish again. There are no more fish because the palm oil plantations have built irrigation channels. Today, there are no more fish. For a very long time, already 15 years, I have been setting my traps. Ever since the canals have been built, ever since that company is here, my traps are empty. The companies use cheap labour from the area or other parts of the country. The daily wage of these plantation workers is only $2. No social benefits or social safety net are provided, although the work to clear-cut, plant and harvest is very hard and dangerous. It soon becomes clear that local inhabitants will not prosper from this form of development. The plantation company has cleared away the entire forest, and the government doesn't care one bit. We of Kuala Seumayam, we are trapped by the plantations. The PT Kalista Alam company is working near the mountains, over there. And in the west, PT Astra. Where are we supposed to make our living? On what are we supposed to live? The destruction started 8 years ago. At the start of the clear-cutting, there was still a little forest here and there. But today, there isn't any left at all.
memang memperhatikan daerah lingkungannya.
The palm oil companies are effectively draining the livelihood out of the local population.
Dia jangan sampai tempat perkebunan sekarang, tempat rumah.
Because the plantations have taken all the land, there is none left for us to grow crops or for pasture. Even for a house, there is no land left. In 2007, I spoke with the manager of PT Kalista Alam, one of the Tripa concessions, and asked him for land for a schoolhouse. But he said that would not be possible. So we will be forced to tear down a home and replace it with a school. Today in Kuala Seumayam, we can't even plant chili. There isn't land left for our gardens. One of the most heavily criticised companies is also one of the biggest in the palm oil business. Astra Agro Lestari is listed on the Indonesian Stock Exchange and a subsidiary of Jardine Limited that is listed in London and Singapore. Astra is currently clearing 150 hectares of forest a month in Tripa. If it is not stopped, there will be no more forest in 4 years. In the first quarter of this year, Astra Agro Lestari tripled its last year's net profits to $89.7 million. New investments are being made at the cost of the environment and the local population. But this company is not the only one with such a balance to account for.
Masuknya investor perkebunan.
The environment in this region has been damaged greatly by the arrival of investors in the plantation industry. The destruction means diverse species of animals are dying out, and the coastal protection provided by the swamp forests is no longer guaranteed. Unfortunately, weakness in the legal control and enforcement of the companies means that inhabitants and local government are faced with a fait accompli.
Makanya kami pihak masyarakat Kuala Seumayam ini tetap menuntut yang lahan berdasarkan nenek kami dulu.
This is why we ask to get our land back, the land that we inherited from our great-grandmothers. We have received legal assistance from an organisation, and we, the whole community, will fight for our land. But local efforts will not be enough. A network of organisations is needed to support government in taking actions.
Saya menghimbau kepada pihak perkebunan untuk tidak melanjutkan.
I appeal to the plantation companies to stop the destruction of the peat swamp forests. Companies should no longer pursue their interests without considering the people and their future. I appeal to the Plantation Authority in Jakarta to reassess the legal basis for the concessions and, where necessary, to annul concessions. This region is in no way suited for oil palm cultivation. It is ideal for fishing, which does not damage the peat swamp forest ecosystem.
Untuk perikanan alam yang tanpa mengganggu lingkungan itu sendiri begitu.
The carbon stored in the peat soil and the trees could be a major source of income. Left intact or rehabilitated as a forest, Tripa could be much more profitable for the local economy. To save Tripa, Paneco, an NGO based in Switzerland, has teamed up with a group of organisations to form a coalition for the protection of the peat swamp forests.
Wir sind im Gespräch mit der Regierung und der Palmölkonzern, unter anderem auch.
We are in talks with the government and the palm oil companies, including Astra Agro Lestari. These palm oil companies should immediately stop logging. We are bringing local and international attention to the acute situation in Tripa. We provide support for alternative approaches. For example, cultivation in line with the principles and criteria of the Round Table for Sustainable Palm Oil. Millions of hectares of palm oil plantations already exist. Yields are often very low in these monocultures, and they could be dramatically improved. There is more than enough fallow land for new plantations. Rainforests should no longer be sacrificed for palm oil.
Wir fordern die Palmölkonzerne auf, Verantwortung zu übernehmen gegenüber den
All companies involved in palm oil should take more responsibility for society and the environment. They should move from mere pledges of support to immediate action.
nicht nur auf dem Papier.